My name is Danny and I will talk about Model View Controller architecture. And this is a software design pattern that it was originated for desktop graphical user interface, but it's now also used on web applications. And what this design pattern does is that it splits the application logic into three different elements that interact with each other. So how it works is that we have the browser. When the browser sends a request to a server, this server sends the request to the controller. Then the controller handles the request and it will tell the other two elements what to do. So it will tell the model to get some data, and the model, it will interact with the database and it will interact with the data. That's its only task. Once the model has the data, it will send it back to the controller. Then the controller will tell the view to render this data. So the view concern, it has to do with rendering only. Then when the controller has the presentation and the data in the presentation, it will send back a response to the server. And this allowed us to split very large and complex applications. It's very easy to maintain and it's easier to work with. It enables each element to be in charge of one concern only. In this case, the model concern is the data, the view concern is the rendering, and the controller is acting as a middleman. To see this on an example, I'm using Express, which is a framework that allowed me to organize the structure of this application. I'm using Axios to interact with the data that it's coming from an API, and I'm using Express handlebars to render that data. So you can see here that it shows that the structure of the concerns. This is the main folder, which is MVC example. It has a folder for a view, which has to do only with rendering and with the templating engine. And it has a separate file for all the logic that will get the data. Okay, I imported the Express, Axios, and handlebars. And we have a main function, which is acting as a controller. It's telling Axios to get information from the API, and it's telling handlebar what to render. Once all this is done, then it will send the response. Every time we click on this next button, this function, it's telling Axios to get another picture of a fox, and also it's telling handlebars to send an HTML template. We will see it here in the network. So you'll see the response. It will be an HTML document. This is the view sending this document. In the header, you can see that we requested a get method. So this is performed by the model, which gets this picture from an API, and then we are successfully getting a response. So we're getting this 200 OK status. But all this, it's been performed by this function right here. So I can say that this is the controller because it's orchestrating the whole actions that are being performed in order to present something to the browser.